What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy HMK once again, and I am incredibly excited for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I mean, come on, as a Zelda fan, you gotta be excited. But a lot of people are like, it's just a Warriors game. And whoa. It's a Hyrule Warriors game that's said to be the canon, super canon story of the Imprisoning War, which was talked about in Modest within that of Tears of the Kingdom. And a lot of people believe that this game is going to finish off and encapsulate the era of the Wild games when it comes to the Legend of Zelda games, with Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity, Tears of the Kingdom, and now Age of Imprisonment. But I'm excited for this game for a number of reasons, and you should be as well, because not only what I've just said before, but like what I'm about to say now, this is gonna be a game. It's gonna be a juicy game. Let me tell you 5 big reasons why I'm hyped for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This game is going to showcase the power of the Nintendo Switch 2. This game is not going to be available for the Switch 1 and will be developed by Koei Tecmo's new studio, AAA Studio. No, not a AAA studio, it's called AAA Studio, and this is going to be the first game in which they develop for a Warriors title, Hyrule Warriors title, just their first game in general. And from what we've seen with the game and the gameplay, running really nice 60 frames per second, and then possibly up beyond that of 1080p resolution and whatnot. I still haven't played the demo, but everyone I've heard who's played the demo before had none but good things to say. And this is gonna be very interesting to see how this product comes out when it comes to the power of the Switch 2 and this new studio under Koei Tecmo, because usually the Hyrule Warriors games, or the Warriors games in general, were developed under the Omega Studio branch within that of Koei Tecmo. So this is going to be a brand new studio and the first ever game under that studio for Switch 2. It's going to be very exciting, but I'm sure that they're going to utilize this console's mad power in a way that we haven't seen before, because it's still the first year of the console. Number 4 is the music. I'm incredibly excited for the music for Age of Imprisonment, because when it comes to Hyrule Warriors games and warrior games in general, they have really good, powerful music in order to exude the identity of 1 versus 1,000 or 10,000, you know what I mean, the whole staple, the whole shebang of Warriors titles. Now, the original Hyrule Warriors game, the one that came out on the Wii U, took iconic Zelda music and gave it a bit of a thrash power metal type sound to it, which was definitely up on my alley. Come on, like, look at me, right? Definitely up my alley, and I love that sound. But when it came to Age of Calamity, they went for a more powerful, epic rendition of music that we've seen in Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild was very modest, very low, very, atmospheric type music in order to give you the idea that you're exploring the wild with the unknown across the landscape, and you don't know what's behind any corner. But Age of Calamity is like, nah, it's wartime. And from what I've heard so far with Age of Imprisonment, it's bumping. So I can't wait to see all of the pieces from possibly Breath of the Wild and, more importantly, Tears of the Kingdom that gets remixed and gets these renditions in Age of Imprisonment that's gonna make you like fall off your seat. I'm ready for that. And of course, when you play a game, number 3 is the gameplay. I adore Warriors gameplay, and I love it when it gets applied to some of my favorite franchises. So when they first announced a Hyrule Warriors game way back when, I'm like, okay, this is me. I love Zelda, I love Warriors, and now here we are with the 3rd main title of Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and Tears of the Kingdom has become one of my favorite games, so I cannot wait to see the gameplay from what we've seen already with the previews and what we don't know about, because we have the synergy attacks, of course we have the Musou attacks, which is like the not all-out attack, but I'm just gonna say Musou attacks, they're like power attacks, whatever. And the fact that we have 2 specific attacks that are tied to each character, and we have a lot of characters when it comes to Age of Imprisonment, which is definitely a shakeup from what we saw in Age of Calamity. And of course, along with the whole staple idea of 1 versus 1,000, that type of hack and slash power gameplay, we've also seen hints of a slight exploration type gameplay that will be tied to either missions or on the downtime, kind of like how we saw in Persona 5 Strikers and Fire Emblem Heroes 3 Fate. Yeah, it's like Fire Emblem Heroes 3 Fates. You know what I mean, the Three Houses one. Yeah, so it's gonna be cool to see that, especially since, you know, there's gonna be a Hyrule, the founding of Hyrule, way before that, the Calamity, way before that, anything else, during the Imprisonment War. So I like to see how Hyrule is definitely different compared to that of how we see it in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So I'm really excited for the gameplay. Okay, you know this one's coming, but it's not number one. I'll explain. The story and the lore. The story and the lore for Tears of the Kingdom's Age of Imprisonment is going to be substantial because Nintendo has time again stated that this game is Omega canon, unlike that of Age of Calamity, which is technical canon, but not canon. It's another universe. And before people were like, oh, I'm tired of this multiverse stuff, Zelda has always dealt with multiverse. Like ever since the timeline split, that's what a multiverse is, a concept of multiverse. But anyways, Age of Imprisonment is going to be super canon, so it's going to be a lot of canon lore implications that is going to spill into both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdoms and our understanding of the story. And I can't wait to see when it comes to all these new characters, that is going to definitely be a big contrast compared to that of how we tackled Age of Calamity, even though it was kind of canon or not canon. For Age of Calamity, we knew the characters already because it was just 100 years before that of Breath of the Wild. So we knew Pura, Robbie, and Impa. We like, okay, these characters, but the younger versions, cool, right? But in Age of Imprisonment, we're gonna see and hopefully have the characters fleshed out of the original sages, their lieutenants, and of course, people within the Gerudo tribe when it comes to Ganondorf. And I love, you know, getting some more story and backstory to our boy, the King Ganondorf. But we're also gonna probably get some more story behind that of Kwame and Kotake. This version of Kwame and Kotake, if you guys don't know, like, you know, Twin Rover, Ganondorf surrogate mothers. So seeing all these characters that we've possibly only heard in whispers, and then more characters beyond that, because I mean the lieutenants and people within that of, you know, the Hyrule's tribe, or Hyrule, you know what I mean, the Hyrule. It's not the Hyruleans, because everyone within Hyrule is Hyrulean. So if you're Zora or Goron, you're a Hyrulean. That's like, you know, you're, you know what I mean. But I cannot wait to see all this, like, new, it's like not new story, but it is new story, but it's not new story, but it's gonna be definitely something very, very, very cool to talk about, especially when it comes to how much conversation is still surrounding Tears of the Kingdom to this day. We're gonna get a lot more thanks to Age of Imprisonment. Okay, number one, if it ain't the power of the Switch, if it ain't music, if it ain't gameplay, if it ain't story and lore, what is it? Guys, it's the scope. The sheer scope and size of Age of Imprisonment is looking to be the beefiest Warriors game, or at least the beefiest Warriors game outside of Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, and Warriors Orochi. But this is looking like the biggest one, not only because it's gonna be 44 gigabytes on the Switch 2, but it's also gonna have a ton of new characters, a huge landscape to explore, lots of battles to be had that leads up into and the Imprisonment War and what happens afterwards. There is a lot of story to be had. There is a lot of gameplay to be had. There's probably a lot of goodies, characters, all this stuff that we have yet to see, like, you know, because we haven't had like a formal direct on Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. We only have a demo that's existing in shops like Walmart and Target. So like, this game is looking to be gigantic. We got characters like Rauru, Minoru, Zelda, Sonya, the Sages, that Golem construct that's definitely not Link, the Korok, I think it's Kalamo, yeah. And I don't know if the Chamberlain is gonna be playable, but we also have the lieutenants, and I'm hoping that the Gerudo tribe is gonna be playable beyond that of, you know, Artie and her lieutenant. I want to see Kwame, Kotake playable. I want Ganondorf playable. I want Demon King Ganondorf playable. So we have a lot in store in terms of what could be in this game, in terms of what could possibly be the biggest Warriors game ever produced by a new studio, AAA studio on the Switch 2. It's going down. And if this is truly going to be the pseudo finale of the era of the wild games, or, you know, outlook on that for this chapter of the Legend of Zelda, then they gotta go out with a bang. So I hope you guys are hyped for that. So yeah, those are 5 big ass reasons why I'm insanely hyped for Age of Imprisonment and whatnot. And the fact that, like, I just said scope, but I mean, like, I'm gonna probably 100% the game because I 100% Age of Calamity with the DLC, and I'm still working on the Switch version of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition because I 100% the Wii U version. But like, this game is gonna be beefy, and I can't wait to 100% it. And I can't wait to play with my fiance. Can't wait to play it on my own. It's gonna be good, and it's gonna look and smell and run like butter. Did I just say smell? But I cannot wait for what is in store with Age of Imprisonment, and I'm kind of glad that I don't know a lot about the game right now, because man, I feel that there's gonna be a lot of cool surprises. So let me know what you're most excited about when it comes to Age of Imprisonment, Hyrule Warriors, in the comment section below, and please leave your thoughts, theories as well down there, while sharing, and most importantly, subscribing to HMK. So until the next video, until the release of Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.